Good afternoon and welcome to Building Boston and Beyond. I am your host, Lydia Rivera. Building Boston and Beyond is a show that has been around for the last, I'd say, 13 months that showcases the many things that are going on in and around Boston relating to transportation, construction, overall what's going on in the community as far as quality of life improvements. A couple of weeks ago, we had a guest on, Beverley Johnson from the Massachusetts Minority Construction Association. Beverley is a community engagement professional. She has experience with creating community outreach efforts, and I have an excerpt here from her interview.
I worked for the BRA. I was actually the first African-American woman appointed as a department head at the BRA. And it was during my tenure with them that I really developed a passion for community economic development relative to looking at the neighborhoods of Boston, determining what kind of economic benefits could be generated for residents who actually are impacted by redevelopment or new construction in their neighborhoods. So it was an exciting opportunity for me, and at some point I decided I wanted to hang up my shingle and go out as a consultant and do this kind of work full-time. And so I established my company in July of 1994.
Wow, that long? Wow.
And
20 years.
20 years, yes.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
So here I am. I never looked back. There are times when I say, wow, you know, I walked away from a pretty influential position that paid well.
Right.
And decided to join the ranks of entrepreneurs who have to get out there and really, you know, hustle to get the contracts.
If you don't know, Beverley Johnson also was a former employee of the MBTA. She was strategic in creating engagement plans for construction projects. For example, the Red Line Rehab project. Let's hear from her on a couple of projects that she was involved in.
So once I left the BRA, a couple of opportunities came along. First of all, I had done a lot of work with the community when I was with the agency, and I was fortunate enough to be on a team that was awarded a contract with the MBTA to do environmental work. And my role on the team was to do all of the public participation work. Based on that first contract, the MBTA really liked my approach in developing strategies to build public support on their projects. So I have been fortunate enough to have been involved with some fairly large MBTA projects as the public involvement lead over the past 20 years. And
yeah, let's name some of those. The Red Line?
I was involved in the renovation of Shawmut and Ashmont stations, along with the new construction of Fields Corner
The public
station.
process, yeah.
The public process. I was the public involvement lead on that. I also wound up being the public involvement lead on Urban Ring, which has to be one of the longest running MBTA projects in history. Initially, I was the backup person. Unfortunately, the person that had the public involvement lead passed away. And so I wound up taking the lead, I think, for the next 5 years. I also was the public involvement lead on the first phase of Green Line Extension, design development, and that was very exciting because, wow, you've got 3 densely populated communities who are going to benefit from the project, and we had to, we did a slew of public meetings, and
that was Somerville, Cambridge, Medford.
Somerville, Cambridge, Medford. Somerville is slated to get, I think, 7 new stations. So the bulk of the public involvement work that we did was with the city of Somerville.
Beverley has had a vast career in transportation and community engagement. Today, she is the chairman and president of the Massachusetts Minorities Contractors Association, where she again brings her skill set to engaging minority businesses and ensuring they have an equal level playing field in contracting opportunities. Let's hear what she has to say about that.
Well, there are a number of ways they can learn about it. First of all, we have a website, and an individual can actually go to our website and become a member. They can fill out an application, they can pay.
Is it MMCA.org?
MMCA.org.
Okay,
yes.
excellent.
Yes. We try to invite non-members to our membership meetings. We held our first membership meeting of the year last night, and we had a great turnout. There were a number of companies there who are not members but joined on the spot.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, based on the goals that we identified for the upcoming year, which I'd like to briefly walk you through.
Yeah, definitely.
So those are the two primary ways. We're also hoping that word of mouth helps us to get members. The organization is very well positioned publicly at these tables that I mentioned, in our relationships with members of the public sector. So word is beginning to really, well, we're beginning to generate quite a buzz publicly that I think will result in us building our membership base.
Right.
So the board and I have identified a series of goals that we'd like to achieve in the upcoming year, just to move the organization, I should say, put the organization in a stronger position operationally as well as publicly.
Publicly, yeah.
Number one, we want to be able to communicate to our members, our corporate partners, and our supporters on a regular basis. So we're going to be launching a quarterly e-newsletter, and our goal is to get to launch the inaugural edition at the end of the first quarter. Our second goal is to launch a signature fundraising event that'll be held on an annual basis. We're looking to raise money so that we can hire an executive director.
Oh, okay.
And increase our operational efficiency. So that's another goal that we're hoping to achieve this year. Probably looking at, it's probably going to be closer to the end of the year before that event happens, because we need an opportunity to do a lot of planning.
Right, right. Now that would be the first time ever that MMCA has a paid executive director?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
And
that will report to a board and
that will
yourself
report
as
to the
chairman.
board. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's a
So
good idea.
we're really looking forward to having that level of staff support. Currently, there are 9 board members, including me. And that'll get me to our third goal, which is in the interim, before we can hire an executive director, we decided to become a committee-driven organization. So we've established a series of board committees that really sort of, do the work.
Yeah, yeah.
And we understand that we have to be very organized and focused in order to keep our committees active and keep the work moving so that nothing falls through the cracks.
Right.
See, another key goal is to get our members engaged in the organization. Up to this point in time, we've never had an opportunity for our members to serve on our board committees. So we're urging them to do that. We're also reestablishing monthly membership meetings. It's been a while since we've done that.
Yeah, that's true.
And so we're going to use those meetings as an opportunity for technical training and assistance. We're going to have speakers come in to talk on different topics.
Right.
And so we just want them to become very much engaged in what we're
Exactly,
doing,
yeah.
to own what we're
Right.
doing.
I applaud your efforts because you know what, you're coming in, you're new, and but you're not new to the process and what you've experienced as a business owner here in Boston, and contracts, et cetera. So I think the momentum is there. If you maintain the momentum, continue the monthly memberships, the speaking engagements, kind of like the buzz of enhancing membership. I think that's key to. I've read a lot about MMCA. I've known about it for years, and they're a very strong organization. But you really have to work at it.
We're also, another key goal is to continue seeking affiliations with organizations that support diversity and inclusiveness in the business community. So for example, we have a great affiliate relationship with the Associated General Contractors of Boston, but also at the national level.
Perfect.
Yeah, so we have members who are involved with the organization, and we're working very closely with them, and they support the initiatives that we're pursuing.
To view the show in its entirety, please go to the YouTube channel, and we'll be right back for information on COMTO, the Conference of Minority Transportation Organization, and their conference coming up this summer.
Did you go to the schoolyard? Where did you look? We can make a plan somehow if I just...
He's a smart boy, and he's gonna be okay.
Okay, try to call him again.
There's no reception. Everything is down.
Try!
I can't.
Try already!
Nothing's working.
Well, just
Everything's
try.
down.
Do you think he's on his way? Please. Is he okay?
Laura.
Please tell me he's okay.
I need you to calm down.
What? It's my baby. This is so bad. He's out there by himself.
Make sure you know where to find your family in an emergency. Start your plan at ready.gov.
Hi, welcome back. The second part of our show is the introduction of the Conference of Minority and Transportation Organization called COMTO. With me today is the president of COMTO and also the senior advisor to Transportation Secretary Stephanie Pollack of MassDOT. What we want to talk today is about COMTO, what COMTO is, what it's doing to engage minorities in transportation to ensure a level playing field of job opportunities for members of COMTO. Again, with me today is Celia J, the president of COMTO, and we're going to talk about the conference that's coming up this July. Welcome, Celia.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. I just want to, let's talk about a little bit yourself, how you became the president of COMTO.
Sure. So I think if someone asked me 10 years ago, or told me I would end up in the transportation space, I'd say, you're kidding. So years ago, I started in the transportation space in the different areas of the organization. And actually, the previous president, Karen Charles, actually, who was chief of staff at the time, talked to me about the organization and said, you know, you really should come and check out one of our events. And so I went to the event, and it was just really wonderful. And I think that's where you and I met, actually, years ago. And, you know, I am involved in things that are important to me. And this is what this organization represents. It is around, as you said in the opening, it's focused on minorities in transportation, businesses, communities of color. And those are the things that are important to me. So I got involved and then said, gee, might as well step in on the leadership role. I actually had a lot of folks wanting me to do it, so I said yes.
Oh, I remember voting for you. But so let's focus on, I've been hearing a lot about the conference that's coming up in July, and also, too, just overall COMTO, there are chapters in how many
Sure,
states?
there are 39 chapters, and you know, this organization started back in 1971, so this is our 44th a meeting and conference. And just to give you an idea, last year in Atlanta, about 850 people came from across the country. And of course, because we're Boston, the bar has been raised and we're really targeting 1,000 people coming into Boston. So very exciting. It is, leaders in the industry will be there, as well as the professional development that people will get. And so it's really going to be a great conference.
Now, coordinating something like this requires partnerships.
Sure.
City of Boston.
Yeah, this also kind of takes a village, if you would. So the host agency is MassDOT-MBTA in partnership with Massport. So those are the folks that are certainly anchoring this with COMTO Boston, as well as the mayor, who has already stepped out. We had a kickoff breakfast in December and has accepted being one of our first honorees for the conference, and his office has been great. He's been great. So those are the partnerships that we're all working together. We also have community leaders that have stepped up to help us. We have Darnell Williams from the Urban League. We also have Michael Curry from the NAACP, Joseph Feaster, who's also well-known, and also Robert Lewis is in the mix with us as well.
So you have a tight networking team.
So we're trying to make sure that we have participation from the community at large, as well as the industry as a whole.
Now, what does this involve? I mean, obviously you need to engage businesses, and does it involve sponsorships?
Sure, it does involve sponsorships, and we do have a committee that's focused on that work. And so, I mean, our website is comtoboston.org if people want to reach out to us and contact us. Herbie Dervinay is our chair of fundraising, and he is the person who is managing that with a team for us.
Oh, okay, so businesses could contact Herbie, talk about their involvement and participation in sponsorship?
Sure, and however they want to get involved with us. And the thing is, this is, the conference is obviously major, has not been in Boston. I think last time we had the conference was when Bob Prince was general manager. When was that, about 20 years ago?
Yeah, that was a while ago.
A while ago.
Yeah.
And so, it's important to make sure that this is a successful conference to showcase Boston. We have a multimodal organization with, all aspects of transportation, very rich. And we have an innovative area, so we're really very excited about showcasing that.
Right, and if I'm a business, what's the takeaway? I mean, if you're a business and you're trying to say, hey, come sponsor us, the various levels of sponsorship, how do you entice me to become a sponsor?
I think the first thing is being involved in an organization that's doing great work. We are involved with the youth. We're involved with seasoned professionals and executives. So the first thing is, I like to say, is you are signing up to be involved in an organization that's doing great work. We give out scholarships every year to high school students. We also have intern programs for college students. So it's really buying into the organization and the great work that we're doing, as well as being able to meet all these executive leaders across the country.
And I think it's unique. I mean, COMTO is inclusive. I mean, it's not an organization, even from my experience, the Boston chapter, it's inclusive of everyone.
Anyone
it's
can
not just
join
minorities that are members. You have a...
Thank you for pointing that out. Anyone could join, and we have a very inclusive organization, which is great. That's what Massachusetts is about. So we're very thrilled about that.
And what are the dates? Is it like
July 11th through the 14th?
Is that a Friday through Monday
That
or Tuesday?
is Saturday through Monday to Tuesday. And on Saturday, we have the focus is on the youth. We have a youth symposium. We're actually partnering. Oh, this is also a very important partnership that I left out. Is Professor Ogletree is going to be moderating a symposium for us in the afternoon.
At Harvard?
At Harvard University. So we're working with him and Harvard University to host us for Saturday, the full day. And we have a youth symposium going on, a college fair, as well as a symposium, a transportation symposium for the more professionals and seasoned executives.
And the overall conference takes place at the Park Plaza Hotel?
At the Park Plaza Hotel, yes.
And what is that like? What does that look like? Are there sessions throughout the day?
Sure.
And a schedule?
So, right. And, there is a little bit of everything. There's even a little bit of golf. But there are professional development sessions on Sunday, There is an institute workshop where people can get continuing education credits, which I think is really important. If an organization is going to sponsor their employees to go, that's really important. As well as on Monday and Tuesday, we have open plenary sessions where obviously the mayor will be part of those discussions and Secretary Pollack, as well as we have an innovative session around intelligence transportation systems. I mean, right now, there's a lot going on with the autonomous vehicle and vehicle-to-vehicle communication. That's really a big deal. We're going to be showcasing some of that work. And the rest is around career development tracks for in the morning and afternoon, both days as well.
Right, and I'm sure through your experience, people come from around the country to Boston because we are a good example of a transportation agency that's innovative and kind of
Absolutely.
leaders in the industry. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely, and we've certainly received, MassDOT MBTA as a whole has received numerous awards in that space. So we're excited to showcase MassDOT MBTA and our partners at Massport and certainly the city of Boston.
Can we share with our viewers some of your partners to give them an example of, we don't want them to say, oh, that's not in my, transportation's not in my league, but you have various engineering firms and things like that.
Sure. I mean, there's various engineering firms, there's various construction firms that are involved. We also, as I mentioned, we have our community leaders. The Urban League, certainly that's not necessarily a transportation agency organization, but the importance of being engaged.
Yeah, contractors, consultants, engineers, architects.
Yeah, the whole gamut, I would say. Consultants in all of those spaces, technology. As well, so.
Right, with the technology, exactly.
Sure.
That's really important. Also, too, about the conference, so it's just various, workshops and...
Yes, there's various workshops as well as there are, sessions, as I mentioned, the plenary sessions that we will have available. We also have a legislative affairs session as well to talk about some of the certainly things that are going on in the transportation space. So.
And you're going to engage youth in this? Was there some type of volunteerism
Sure. So
program?
I mean, right. So as it takes a village, right? So we need certainly companies to be involved to want to sponsor different events, as well as volunteers. So I'm glad you mentioned that. So I mean, that is really key and important to have people volunteer to help us. So if folks go to COMTO.org and contact us, we will get back to them if they sign up and give us their information. So we definitely want to showcase Boston as very friendly as we are, and make sure that people are getting to the right space and time when they should, and to also just help to showcase Boston.
So you're looking at a robust attendance. I feel like this is going to be to Boston.
Yes, and we'll be reaching out as well to our neighboring states to let them know that the conference is here. And people come from across the country to these conferences. So, it should be it'll be great for Boston. It really will be.
Right, and the Massport partnerships, they've obviously contributed to
Absolutely.
the organization of this, as well as the T.
Absolutely. Tom Glenn has been great, who is the CEO of Massport, has been all of my colleagues have been really great. Highway Administrator Frank DePaul, well, he's now GM. Interim General Manager Tom Timlin, who's now Acting Administrator. Chris Wallenberg, who is also head of aeronautics.
Yeah.
They've all been very engaged and have been really helping and supportive of this conference. So it's really been very, very helpful.
And then when we talk about businesses, I mean, if we have some smaller business that may say, oh, well, I don't know if I can do it, my budget may not be able to accommodate that. But there's levels of sponsorships, correct?
Well, they would need to speak with the sponsor, the fundraising committee to get all that information.
Right.
So it'll just be important for them to contact us, and our team will share that information with them. But I'm sure there are various ways that they can support the conference, and we will be able to tell them about that.
Right, before we sign off, I mean, is there anything unique about the conference that you'd like to share as far as the programs? I mean, you said there's going to be the Harvard Symposium, sounds very unique.
Sure.
And then the other tracks that I had read in the brochure
Right.
of different...
Yeah, so I think there's a lot of things, I think, in terms of it really will, every levels of professional development, I think that you'll be able to walk away from this conference being able to feel that you've gotten some tools and tips that you need, and as well as interacting with industry leaders. And the youth will also be engaged and be a part of it, which I think is really important. We also have a session called, a group that's called Emerging Leaders. And those are the folks that are already in the professional stage of their career, and they're looking to move into other levels. And that's really an exciting group of folks as well that will be coming in to meet with the different CEOs and to really get a sense as to what is it like to really, run an agency or, be able to develop your career path to get there, which I think is really important.
Excellent. So we're ready to wrap up. So I'm just saying that you want to promote COMTOBoston.org?
Sure, COMTOBoston.org is our website, and there should go to there's a contact us section, and very easy to fill out. It's literally 1 minute, if that.
Yeah.
And just sign up and we will get back in touch with you. Also, Herbie Duvernay is our fundraising chair, and that's the person who can tell you about the different opportunities that we have available.
Excellent,
And again, it's an organization that is doing really great work, not only in the transportation space, but also in the community.
No, I'm very impressed with it. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you
coming
for
on. I
having
think
me.
that's great news, and maybe we'll have you on right before the conference in July,
Oh,
just
I
to
would
talk
love
about
that.
how it's come together.
Oh,
and
I would
more
love
of the
that.
sponsorships.
Sure.
And
we
the
could
program.
We could
because
talk more about the program as well, as those are the pieces we're hammering out
because
now.
it's evolving right now, exactly, into the final product.
Yes.
All right, excellent. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Thank you for joining us this month.